Hello everybody, welcome to my nail channel. Today, I'm doing something that I've put off for a long time. I'm going to try and recreate this Valentine's Day look that was sent to me from Zillaboo. Now, Zillaboo is one of my favorite places to shop for Korean gel products because as a DIYer slash newbie nail tech now, Korean gels just made sense to use because they are so beginner friendly. I know that in my head, I know that I'm gonna find this difficult because placement, symmetry, fiddly little bits is not my forte. And I'm gonna be using a Valentine's Day Make.N charms bundle from Zillaboo, which is like a limited offer thing they're doing, just to kind of put Korean gel polish to the test because I know I love it, but I've always said how beginner friendly it is. So I kind of want to put the products to the test in a more challenging situation, on a more challenging design for myself. You can also buy these kits. I will link it down below. This video isn't sponsored, but I am a Zilla Muse, so I just want to let you know about the discount. So in this kit, you're going to get 2 gels from Tiny, randomized, my favorite gels. You get a Make.N cover and parts gel, and then randomized Valentine's Day charms from Make.N. This kit is worth $100, but you can get it for only $80, and honestly, I think it's worth it. Already knowing how much Korean gel polishes can cost and parts, etc., I think this is a pretty good bargain. There are only 10 of these in stock, and you can use code JamesWelsh20 for 20% off. I will make a small commission on these, and this code is only valid for the Valentine's Day kit, so let's see how I get on. I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be using the Diami canoe tips, just because I think they're the perfect shape for this set. I actually do already know my sizes. Okay, now I'm sized up. I'm just gonna file gently the tips of the nails, just get rid of that little bit of plastic that always pokes out. The Diami tips very rarely come with it. They're usually just like ready to go. It always just need the tiniest bit of work, and I always feel like some tips come with too much filing to do on the tip and you end up slightly changing the shape of the tip, and then you have to like file down the edges and it's really annoying. You end up changing the shape of the nail and etc, etc. So it's nice that the Diami tips come pretty much ready to go. I mean, this is probably the biggest little jolty out bit of plastic you'll see on a Diami tip in my personal experience. So the syrups that I got in my set were 2 Tiny syrups, which I absolutely love. This is the Tiny TYY022. This is my medium. Then this one is Tiny TYY046. You can see the side. These are all going to be the same color. I tend to like shiny products, tiny and shiny, but tiny products in general because, where's my other glove? Because they are extremely beginner friendly. I think if you're a beginner when it comes to doing nails, they are self-leveling. The other gel polishes that aren't syrups usually require just 1 coat. So not only are they beginner friendly, but if you are a well-established professional, it's also just like helps speed up the service, I guess, because you're not having to do like multiple coats, you're not having to faff about too much. You can see that I'm doing like multiple strokes, but if this tiny gel is like all the other tiny gels here, then it's just gonna self-level, and all these strokes that us beginners make trying to get an even spread of product is just gonna blend away so easily. Give it a minute. Yeah, see how nice that is, and that's the first coat. We are going to do another coat just to make it a little bit thicker, so I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 30 seconds whilst I do the middle finger. I always find that with tiny syrups especially, you need just that little bit more than you think you're going to need, that little bit more product. Because I am doing this on a tip, I'm just going to go up like this so I can get good coverage at the top of the nail here, what would be the base of the nail. Make sure it's not too thick around the sides. I always tend to build up too much. I'm happy with that. I love how much it just self-levels. It's so like easy to do. It does most of the work for you. And I feel like that's Korean gels in general, and that's why I love Korean gels so much, especially as a newbie DIYer. But I'm gonna add more, but these syrups really are buildable. If you want a true syrup nail that's just like this clear coating of color, you can do that, but we're going to build up the color just a little bit more. For the sake of the camera focusing, I do have to keep my nails in a very particular position. So it's proving a little bit difficult. I'm gonna wipe that away. A bit streaky, but the gel's gonna self-level for me. So easy, so easy. Okay, so we are gonna give all of these a second coat. Okay, then we're going to go in with the darker syrup, TYY046. This is a true syrup, almost like that stained glass blue. This is nice. I'm worried that it'll be a little bit streaky, but this seems to be self-leveling more than the lighter syrup. This is something that annoys me with tips when the color goes under the nail, but I feel like that's always going to happen when you're trying to cover the whole tip. But look how much that self-levels. That's so nice. Second coat. Okay, all the nails have 2 coats on, so now we are going to do an ombre on the middle nail. The instructions say to use an ombre brush, but I cannot do that. So I'm going to use an ombre sponge with a sponge picker, and what I'm going to do, let's just put these aside for a minute. I'm going to get the deeper, why is my camera moving? The deeper color gel, just put it on a little palette. This is the only way I can do ombre at the moment. I'm terrible with a brush. People are like, just use an ombre brush. It's like, I don't know, I can't do it. So I'm gonna get some of the gel on the sponge and then lightly tap. Make sure there's barely any on the sponge there. Maybe still too much there. It looks like nothing, but I'm gonna cure that, and then I'm gonna add more color as we go. I do think maybe a ombre brush is better to work with syrups. I'm not quite getting that gradient that I'm so used to getting, but you know what? That's gonna do. Okay, so now it's time to decorate, and this is the bit I'm nervous about. I got the inspiration in front of me. Obviously the bits are a little bit different, but to do this, I've actually filmed this video already and my head was in shot constantly. So I've had to take all the bits off again, and I've pre-cut the lovely chains because of the previous video, but I'm gonna try and mix up the design a little bit. So I want to start with this finger, because this is the one that kind of got me last time. What I think I'm gonna do is place, where's my tweezers? Here we go. 2 bits of, no. Oh, this is so tough. I think I'm gonna put like a gem in the middle and then have the 2 bits of chain going either side. I have a picker from the Army as well. It's got this little bit of wax in the top to help me pick up bits. So I'm gonna take my Make.N gel parts to go with all my Make.N pieces, gems, chains, etc. And I personally like to use like a fine tip brush. It's a very thick consistency, so I like to mix it a little bit, kind of like soften it, and then use that on the tip. So I'm gonna get as centered as I can. I'm really just doing this to secure my parts in place. I'm gonna have to give that wipe, it's got wax all over it now. I'm just gonna look down at the nail and make sure it's as centered as possible. And then I'm gonna take my little Jello curing light and just make sure I get under there and cure it. We are going to do a full cure for this, and we're going to secure it with like a top gel as well. It's going to do a little bit longer, but this is just to hold it in place whilst we're still decorating. Here we go, get that wax off as well, and we're left with a nice shiny, look at that. Next, I want to secure these pieces either side, kind of like that. Oh, they're just sticking on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one side at a time. Paint it on. Just hope that these bits are long enough. They are. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Just fix that into position. And then try and do as symmetrical as I can on the other side. Now I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that my gem in the first place isn't actually that centered. Oh god. This is why I do a lot of asymmetrical designs, because symmetry isn't something I'm good at. And I'm gonna say that that one's done. So I'm gonna put that to the side for now. So I'm gonna be using these two little bits that I put together. So I've actually done like a gem within a thing, within a frame. And then this cute little Valentine's Day bear that I was given with the set. Again, I'm gonna put a very generous splodge of the parts gel where I'm gonna put the heart. And the heart is slightly curved, so it goes with the curvature of the nail, but it does have like a little space around it so we can secure it with top coat around the edges, and so it's actually easier to use a file to drill it off as well if you were putting this on your natural nails. So I'm just gonna aim through there so we can try and get, you see there's like a gap? See that? You see there's a gap there? We're gonna cure through there. This camera loves to focus on anything but the nail. And then I'm gonna need a bit more parts gel. Excuse the doggies. Oh, this looks very, very English royalty. I'm liking this. Good thing when you're doing tips as well is, sorry, excuse the dogs. You can cure through them, so you can really get to the bottom of those parts and make sure all that gel is cured through. Don't want to leave any uncured gel on this. At first I wasn't too sure on that purple and like the gold, but it's giving like British royalty in the 90s. I like it. 2 nails done. This is going easier than I thought it was gonna be, but I do feel like I don't quite have that skill yet, but I'm finding it really enjoyable. I'm actually finding it really fun. Surprisingly more creative than I thought it was gonna be. So the next one is kind of like the pile of gems. I kind of wish I had a few varying sizes, but I don't, but that's okay. You're going to need a nice generous scoop of this. I'm gonna put that maybe there. Too late. Should have maybe done it more to the side, but we need a big generous blob because we're gonna secure 3 to 4 gems in this. So with my tweezers, with my picky tool, I'm going to put one facing right down the nail. Just like that. Just like that. Oh, I'm not sure how secure I've made this. We might have to rely on the top coat to kind of keep it secure. And then that goes there. That ombre is not looking very happy. Gonna leave a little gap in the top there because we need to cure everything under there. Like everything needs to be cured. So I'm just gonna hold that there for the full 30 seconds. Just make sure everything's cured in place. Simple, but fine. Okay, this one I'm unsure of what to do. I think I'm just gonna do like another what we did on the other finger. So I'm gonna take the parts gel again. I don't know why my camera keeps moving. I've got a new setup and I'm getting used to it, but I don't know what's going on. So I think I've discovered the easiest way to kind of keep everything in place as well is to wipe the tacky layer off all the nails before going in with the gel. Everything just seems to slide around less. Okay, so I'm gonna do a generous globule again. Maybe could have been a little bit more generous with that. So I'm gonna place this on there. What I do like about this parts gel is once the parts make contact with it, it holds very well. So you have a lot of time to kind of like mess about with it and play about with the part the gem, the jewel, whatever it is you're doing, without it sliding around too much or falling off or anything like that. So again, I'm gonna cure, make sure I'm getting under, make sure I'm getting under the part. So with the stuff again, I'm going to almost do like that ring kind of looking shape. So I'm gonna paint there. I'm gonna paint, wow, I can't see it. I'm gonna paint here, question. I think I may need to cut these, yes. So I'm gonna do this right down here. There's dog hair, unsurprisingly. I'm just gonna cut this one to size. Oh, maybe it needs to be shorter. Oh God, okay. No, okay. What am I gonna do? Maybe something like that, but does that look weird? Oh, why don't we do it coming from the top so it's a bit more necklacey? Okay, so, all right, okay. I am finding the chain kind of part of it very, very fiddly. Verging on frustrating. I think this is as good as it's gonna get for a little bit, so let's just cure those in place for now. Okay, the final one, I'm going to do another gem cluster. So, do I love a bulky nail? So I'm gonna get another generous scoop, but I'm gonna do it more to the side, I think, this time. And I'm gonna add this cute heart one. If it comes off, oh no. Ah. And make sure that that's cured through as well. And then they're all gonna be cured for 60 seconds in the lamp. Okay, so the next part is to secure all the parts. So whilst the parts gel is gonna do a really good job at holding them on, we need to secure the edges, make sure they don't snag on anything, whilst also adding a top coat to the nails. So the Sunbake non-wipe top and clear from First Street is perfect for this. I'm gonna use a smaller brush to go around the chains, paint on top actually of the metal work so it doesn't tarnish, and then paint on the rest of the nails with this brush, whatever that is. Okay, so let's start off with this one. I like this Sunbake gel because it's a thick consistency, but it's also really controllable, really self-leveling. I'm gonna start underneath the parts just to make sure these bits are nice and secure. Just adding a generous amount, and that's gonna hold its shape. And then going in with my oval brush to do the top coat, if it focuses. Again, this one's amazing because it self-levels. I find you can paint in any direction, even though you shouldn't, and it will still self-level and look nice and even. And then I'm gonna repeat that with all the nails. Okay, these are the final nails. Do you know what? I'm not like overjoyed with them. This ombre is, I was gonna swear then, but I could do with some work. But what I will say is, unsurprisingly, the Korean gel products made it extremely easy to do. The Make.N parts look way more expensive than they actually are. And they're easy to manipulate, move around. Syrup gels can be really tough to work with, but because they're Korean syrups, they just self-level so effortlessly. So the whole process, whilst a little bit stressful, was actually pretty fun. Like, I want to do this more. So there we have it. You know what? I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. The placement isn't the best, but it was literally my first attempt and on camera at doing anything like this. I'm kind of into it. I want to do more. It was very relaxing, very therapeutic. If I wasn't doing it on camera and trying to focus so much on keeping things in focus and in frame, this could have been super relaxing for me. But because I used Korean polishes, everything was really simple. The syrups did most of the work for me. Everything was self-leveling. Everything looked nice and even. The parts gel just made placing and securing the parts so much easier. That parts gel is going to last me forever. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of that. And I'm actually really impressed with how the parts look. Sometimes the parts can look like a little bit cheap. Compared to others I bought from places like Amazon, they look way more expensive. They also look like they're going to last a long time and not tarnish as quick, just my opinion, not fact. But I feel like they look a little bit more like they're going to last. And that parts gel and the top coat, those gems, chains, whatever, are secure. They're not going anywhere. They're going to be absolutely fine. So as I mentioned, there are only 10 of these sets available in Zillabue. They're not exclusive to me, so they may already be gone, but $80 for $100 worth of stuff, and then you can use my code JamesWelsh20 for a further 20% off, only valid on this Valentine's Day bundle. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Any tips would be great, especially with, I don't know, with designing, I guess. Let me know in the comments down below. All products will be linked to the description box, and I'll see you next time.